you say your team is starting to play really good at the right time now?
Well, I think we played really well in the second half last week, 24-3, and I thought guys did a lot of really good things in all three phases of the game. Now, that's just a half of football, but it was good to see because we hadn't been doing that for a while. So hopefully we'll continue that this Saturday.
There have always been things that have happened, throughout the course of this week with these two teams, but it seems like this year there have been little incidences that have happened throughout the course of the year from one campus towards the other.
I don't know much about that. I don't think I was involved in any of those. We have a lot of respect for what they're doing over there. I think Coach Moore has done a great job in his first year. It's never easy to come into a program and get things turned around that fast, and they're doing a great job in all three phases of the game. And with a freshman quarterback, that's not easy to do, so I give them a lot of credit.
And he's a quarterback that has a lot of athletic ability as well.
Yeah, he does. Really can make things happen when they break down, whether he's running or whether he's throwing it on third down. So we're going to have our hands full. We're going to have to rush really well.
What are you working on to cut down on turnovers this week?
Well, just really the emphasis of the entire practice, taking care of the football from the beginning of practice till the last horn blows. And we were doing it well for a while, and then we've kind of fallen back here the last couple of weeks, so big emphasis for us.
Any additional pressure meeting a crosstown rivalry with the Pac-12 championship on the line?
No, basically was last year too. So this game's a big game no matter what, because it's USC, UCLA, regardless of what records are. It's good that it's a relevant game for 2 years in a row, and that's the way it should be.
Coach, I know it does bother you that the team's making those turnovers at inopportune times, and it's been happening throughout the course of the year.
Yeah, and we're dealing with that. The other side of that, there's a positive side too. We're creating more turnovers than we ever have since we've been back here. By far, one of the better teams in the entire country. So we got one thing fixed, and now we're screwing up on the other one.
How much do you think this UCLA team has improved since last year's 15-0?
Tons. Obviously, the record speaks for itself, but as you watch them, they're just doing a really good job of managing situations and going on the road last week in a tough place to play, and they haven't had a lot of ups and downs, so you got to give their staff a lot of credit, and they're playing a lot of freshmen too.
Do you think any part of that improvement that they've made since then is because of the nature of the loss that they suffered? Embarrassment, nothing. Do you think that it's possible to connect some of that to how they've rebounded since then?
I don't think so. I think years are totally irrelevant to the next year, and we see, look at our schedule, anybody's schedule. Things happen completely different, and they happen different on Saturdays. You could have won a game 50-0, played the same team that Saturday, and the score's not going to be the same. So I don't think that has anything to do with where they're at now. I think it has to do with that Jim's come in there and done a great job. Came in with a lot of discipline, and you can see that they're coached really well. And offense and defense, everybody knows about. When you look at their special teams too, they're doing a great job.
Noah Mazzoni's running the offense over there, and of course he was at ASU last year. How similar is what he's doing at UCLA to what he did last year at Arizona State? And what adjustments are you going to make to that after last year's game?
Yeah, very similar, running the same offense basically. Noel does a great job. He's done a great job for years wherever he's been of moving the ball and spreading people out. So, like I said, we're going to have our hands full and have to play really well.
This is like the fourth straight spread offense that you guys have played. Do you feel like the defense is starting to get the hang of it?
Well, I don't know. Every week's different. We had, like I've mentioned, we had 5.5 quarters of really bad football, and then we just played really good for 4 quarters. So hopefully we'll continue to play the way that we were. And it's not necessarily about the offense; it's more about us doing things right. And our guys played with a lot of intensity Saturday. Forced a lot of turnovers and got a lot of sacks.
How is their tempo? Oregon and Arizona had a quicker tempo as Arizona State, not as fast. How's UCLA's compared to those two?
Well, I thought Arizona State's was fast too. Especially in the first quarter, they were going as fast as they could lining up. And so this is just another team. This is the direction of college football and how it's changed, especially in our conference. When you start looking at plays per game in our conference and how high they are compared to other conferences, it's because of these offenses and the tempos in our conference.
Do you ever imagine developing a tempo at that pace ever?
I don't know. I think anytime people are successful, it's something you want to look into it. At times this year we've sped up a little bit. It really is not in our best interest right now to do with our numbers. To lengthen games with more plays has been our philosophy going in. But when our numbers are back someday, you never know.
Have you discussed the home uniform thing with Jim? You said on Sunday that you had not.
Yeah, I had not. It was something that I think was already decided we were going to do a couple weeks ago. I'm sure it's not a big deal to him.
Do you have a take on the logo stabbing pregame drum major thing?
I don't know about that. I'm not really worried about that.
What's the one quality that you think Coach Moore has brought to their team that's made them successful this year?
Yeah, that's a good question, Jim. I don't know that exactly. I just know when you watch them, they're really well coached. And you watch the 3 phases of the game and you look at improvement. Almost all their numbers in almost every single situation have had dramatic improvement with only one off season. That's hard to do.
And especially their attitude as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think that they seem very confident. They've been in some tight games, like down at Arizona State, and drive down to win the game at the end with a freshman quarterback. So that's got to come from the staff, that confidence.
You talked about how this game, maybe more than the Notre Dame game, for the players is kind of a rivalry game. How do you prevent them from getting too caught up in that kind of local stuff, playing against their friends and guys like that?
Yeah, we addressed it this morning. Our focus is all on ourselves and making sure we're improving. We have a lot of things to work on, and not getting caught up in that. And it's the next game, and it's never going to be about the hype around it. It's going to be about which team prepares better and which team plays better and executes on game day and doesn't let the other stuff in.
After watching the tape on the offensive side of the ball, what were you most pleased with after the Arizona State victory?
I thought our offensive line play, especially the left tackle, both left tackles that rotated in there for a true freshman, a true sophomore. I thought they played very physical. I thought they played really well. Outside of the fumble, I thought Curtis ran well. For a day when Marquise wasn't 100%, he still did well. So there were some really good things there, and obviously the turnovers were critical. You've got 3 turnovers inside the 30-yard line. That just completely blows the game open if you take care of the ball. And unfortunately, we didn't.
What gave you the confidence to run Curtis 30 times, or was it just out of necessity?
It was just the style of the game. DJ really wasn't full speed, as you saw when he went in there. Silas was out, and so it happened to be Curtis's turn. He was running the ball well, and it became that type of game that we once we got the lead and got in control, felt that we could kind of wear them down up front, hopefully in the fourth quarter, and we were able to.
Did he show you enough that you could feel confident doing something like that again in the next couple weeks?
Yeah, we're going to do whatever it takes to win, and you never know what the storylines of games are going to be. Even the play callers don't. Things change once the game gets going, and you don't know who the stars are going to be.
Anything else?